Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Title's social media marketing strategist and educator, bringing you Marketing Matters webinar live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. We bring you the best tools for marketing, the best tactics for marketing, and the best people in the industry to share information about them and why they are working so well for agents in our market and around the country. Today, we've got Brandy. She's with Bison Ventures, and she is going to be talking about a great topic that we could all benefit from, and that is overcoming objections with better scripts. We have a lot of objections right now with the market, high interest rates, low inventory. If I sell, where am I going to move? Lots of objections that we deal with every day, or I'm waiting to sell in the 2024 market. So she's going to share with us some of the tactics and scripts to really help us push this process along a little smoother. So Brandy, thanks for coming on. And like I said, you have screen sharing abilities.
All right, let's see. It's not sharing my screen right now.
Dive in and
Oh, there we go. Okay.
sometimes it just takes a moment.
All right, so let me get my presentation up here.
I will stop sharing mine as well. It could be.
All right, everybody,
There
is
it is.
that okay?
Yes, it looks perfect.
Perfect. All right. So my name is Brandy Kausek. I am a senior loan officer with Bison Ventures, and just been in the industry for about 21 years, and as a loan officer for 5. So today I wanted to share just some really honestly basic scripting strategies. I think that a lot of us have probably heard getting back to basics in this market. And so I don't really have any revelations to share, but just kind of a reiteration of what we need to be looking for and hearing and listening for from our clients who are looking to buy and sell but are still on the fence. So really, these are going to be kind of a deep dive into a few of the basic objections that we're hearing a lot. So, you know, as a loan officer, it's kind of like when you're sitting there as a realtor, like why would a lender share scripts with me? Just because I think that we're really hearing kind of the same pushback right now in objections. And so we can really work together to make sure we are educating and informing our clients on what's really going on in the market. As we know, these are kind of the headlines our clients are seeing, pretty negative. You know, that we're going to see a crash. Interest rates are skyrocketing. The inflation is out of control. There's a recession coming. So these are the things that we want to overcome for our clients. And really, again, these are national headlines too. As we know, in Arizona, we're in a market that is sometimes very different than what we're seeing on a national level. A lot of times we are ahead of the curve as far as the negative, but we also end up being at the top when it's positive. So these are things that we really can get specific and hyper local on with our clients to make sure that they understand they're seeing national headlines, they're seeing stale headlines, and we can overcome those things. So the first objection that I wanted to go through with you is really just that basic. We're just waiting for rates to drop. So there's some basic questions that you can ask your client, maybe in a different way than what we've thought of before. And this interest rate drop question or objection comes up a lot on both sides, right? With buyers, obviously for affordability, and with sellers, if they refinanced in the last few years, they are not looking to get out of their 3% interest rate into a 7% interest rate. But there are strategies around making that make sense for them as well. So the first question that would be good to ask is, how much of a drop are you looking for in interest rates? And I think this can sometimes stump our clients because the fact is that we're hearing interest rates are high, but what does that correlate to? It correlates to a payment, right? So what they're really asking or saying is that interest rates are high because the monthly payment is high. But do we really know, and do they really know what that means? What is their monthly budget? So we can kind of get into that with them. How much are you paying now? What would you be looking for in a mortgage? You know, are you seeing an increase in your pay? Are you expecting an increase in your pay? Things like that. Obviously, as a lender, we get a little deeper in that, but those are things that we can use to kind of identify really when they say rates are too high, do they know what they're really asking? And the second thing is, okay, interest rates are going to drop, and when will that be? Do they have an idea of when they think that will be? And if they do, are they going to be ready to buy when that happens, or sell as well? So that's another thing that we can talk to them about is, okay, if it's going to be January, are you ready to go so that you can buy in January? And at that time, are you going to be prepared for what the market looks like? And then another question to ask also is, if rates do drop and you're ready, what is that going to do to our inventory levels? Is there pent-up demand right now? As you know, there is. You know, everybody's looking for those rates to drop. And so when it does, are we going to have the inventory in the parameters that you want for your home? And then finally, what will that do to sales prices? You know, if we have low inventory, high demand, sales prices are going to increase. If you wait 6, 12, 24 months to buy, the house that you're seeing right now for $450, is it going to be $450 when you're ready to buy? And really, what are the differences in the numbers if you wait versus buying now if you can afford it? So this is I'm a visual person, I'm a numbers person, you got to prove it to me. And so I'm going to kind of share with you some slides throughout that show kind of the stats that you can use. And these are resources that are available to you right now. So for example, this chart is from Redfin Data Center. You can go online, you can pull these up. And I made this very specific for Maricopa County because again, a lot of those headlines are going to be national. And as we know, our market is very different. So this is showing that our inventory is extremely tight. As of August 6th, we were showing active listings at 11,599, and that's a 40% drop year over year. And as we can see over the previous years, when we had really low interest rates, we still had more inventory to sell, and we were still seeing bidding wars and a lot of over ask pricing. So with this lower inventory right now, if we bring those interest rates down, we're obviously going to see that that inventory get even tighter. Hopefully we can balance it out by getting a little more sellers on the market, but that's also a good thing to show the sellers is that, you know, we push that inventory out. That means there's going to be more for you as well if you're looking to buy. The second objection I have is we're going to go ahead and wait until the market crashes. And I know this is our very favorite one, and we all know that is not true. And so there's a couple of different approaches that we can take, and some of those basic ones as well, where you know, kind of this may be the piece where we need to use a lot of data, especially because we have those millennials out there. They're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, and we know there's a lot of misinformation out there through those sort of platforms. So we have to be able to correct what's really going on. And again, this is where we need to get super hyper local. A lot of people that have been in Arizona since the previous crash know exactly what happened, but they really don't know the technicals of it. And that's where we can show that we're experts so that they can trust us. So if someone says we're waiting till the market crashes, when will that be? Do they have a timeline or a time frame? And as we know, when the market crashed before, it wasn't just a few people, it was everybody. And if you owned a home at that time and you were upside down, you were still able to afford that home and stay there, you had to wait a while for it to come back or short sell, foreclose, or whatever. So everybody suffered. And that means anybody going into the market now, if the market were to crash, would also suffer. And so we have to kind of take that anxiety out as well. And you know, kind of grasp when do they think that will be? And then we can use the data to show them that that's just not the case. If we see a crash, what is that going to do to inventory? We know in the previous crash, inventory went up. We already had far too many houses on the market as it was. We saw a lot of buy and bail. There was just far too much inventory on the market and too many bad loans. So if the market crashes, we're going to see a lot of inventory, which would bring down values. And again, more data we can show that that's just not happening. And then the final question you can ask, or another question would be, what will that do to sales prices? So I think most people think that when the market crashes, sales prices are going to hit rock bottom. We're going to see foreclosures and auctions. And again, that may be true in a crash, but we're just not looking to see a crash. So again, going back to that Redfin data, we can pull up this chart for Maricopa County specifically, or any area you like. And we can see that, yes, the median price of a home, which again, when we talk about median, we are talking about half of the price, half of the homes on the market are above this price, and half of the homes are below that price. This is not an average price. This is just right in the middle. And we can see that we are fast approaching those highs of 2022, and we will surpass those likely this year in Maricopa County as far as median home price goes. So we've seen this come down, which is actually a positive thing for affordability, because when we see that median home price go down, that means we're seeing more inventory below that middle price than we are above it. But again, we're just not seeing that. And then just talking about this year-over-year negative number, that's where we were seeing that inventory that was below this mark. And again, it's just starting to get less and less as we get less inventory availability. The second thing that has to do with the market not crashing is appreciation. So this week we got the June Case-Shiller appreciation numbers. Case-Shiller, in case you didn't know, is showing appreciation for all real estate residential sales, including cash. And for June, the reading was 0.7% appreciation. So you can see most of these reporting agencies reported in January a negative appreciation, and we are already showing positive appreciation. And for 2023, you can see all of them are showing a pace of having appreciation as little as 5% with that Case-Shiller, all the way up to 10% with Zillow and CoreLogic. These are great numbers to be able to share. And these are national numbers. These are not local numbers. So these are going to be a little bit different for Arizona. But again, we're seeing that positive increase and equity, and not showing a whole lot of upside down or negative equity for our clients. Even the ones who have bought in the last year in this high interest rate environment, we're seeing them gain any equity they may have lost. It's starting to come back. And these highlighted in yellow, these are all-time highs in real estate values. So we are seeing prices go up higher than we ever have with a few of these reporting agencies. Let me know if you want that information, and I can pass that along to you. And Sarah, I'm totally fine if you want to share this presentation with anybody who requests it as well. And I can always give up-to-date information too.
Brandy, that's very sweet of you.
And I apologize, I have so much data and I've had to cut it down, but just some of it's very interesting and is really great to dispel what's going on out there. So this chart is really cool because it shows real estate as a whole, as an investment, has a 90% win rate since we started recording appreciation in 1942. So this shows you each decade what the total appreciation over that decade was. Obviously, if we go down to the 2000s in that 07 through 2011 period, we did see that during the crash we were negative. But you can see through the entire decade for both decades that we actually had a very strong appreciation rate. And so that is again something that we don't expect to see that 2023 box be red. It'll be a little less, but it still will be green. And so far already in the 3 years of this decade, we're at a 39% appreciation rate. Okay, so moving on to the third objection is it is cheaper to rent. And this is probably very true for most of our clients out there right now because of those higher interest rates and higher purchase prices. However, this is where we need to go into the investment that real estate is, and that they will be gaining amortization and equity appreciation in their property with a payment that never changes. And it's not always easy to show them that right off the bat. But they need to know and feel that pain of renting if they really truly want to be homeowners. And not everybody wants to be a homeowner. But if we identify they do want to own a home, we want to make sure that they really feel that pain of renting. So when they ask you, if they tell you it's cheaper to rent, you want to know what does cheaper mean to them? Does cheaper mean the actual cost of their housing? Or does it mean, they're going to move around and they really don't want to put the investment or the time and energy into purchasing? What really does cheaper mean? And is that long-term or short-term? As we know, rents go up. And so this is a really short-term thing that we want to make sure to identify with our clients. The second one is you can ask, has your rent decreased in the past? So as we know, most of the time when you sign a new lease, your rent isn't going to decrease. It's actually going to increase, and your deposits probably are going to increase as well. There's some people out there maybe that their rent did decrease for some reason or another. But we can also identify what those reasons are and know that it's probably a short-term sort of thing, and that they can't expect that their rent is going to continue to decrease in the future. The third thing that you could ask is, what do you do at the end of your lease? Do you sign a new lease? Is your lease going to be the same amount? Do you expect it to go up? If you have to move, are you going to have to move into a place that costs more but isn't as good of housing for you as far as parameters go, maybe room count, bathroom count, things like that, location. So those are all pain points that we can hit on to help people understand that really it's not necessarily cheaper to rent. I mean, it may be in dollars today, but in the future, especially as rent increases, you have a fixed rate mortgage and you're going to not only be paying the same per month on your mortgage, but you're also going to be gaining that equity and amortization. So this is where we as lenders like to show what the cost to wait would be. I think that over the next few years, we're probably going to see these numbers be a lot more pronounced as those interest rates do come down and we see that demand continue to go up, especially if we don't see that inventory kind of even out. So this is a lot of numbers. I just kind of wanted to point out the extremes on one or the other here. So today, for example, if you were to buy a home at $600,000 with an interest rate of 7.25, your cash to close is going to be $132,800 with a 20% down payment. And if you were to wait 24 months, the purchase price of that home is going to go up almost $50,000 with the rate of appreciation. Even if we just use 3% appreciation here, we're talking about a $50,000 increase in purchase price, and we're talking about needing over $10,000 more in funds to close, even with a 2% lower interest rate. So I think that's sorry there. I was looking for the monthly payment and I was missing it here. So this is more talking, obviously your monthly payment is going to be possibly less you're gonna pay less interest per month for sure at that interest rate, but you're paying at a higher dollar amount. So, this next slide shows you kind of a breakdown of the loss that you're gonna have in amortization, which is paying down your mortgage balance, and also that appreciation loss. So if we look at just in a 12-month time span, you're in total, you would lose about $28,646,000 in total cost in appreciation and amortization. But what this doesn't show you is that you're also losing in rent. So if someone were paying $2,000 a month in rent, they're also losing $24,000 in rent. And so you have a total loss there of, you know, over $32,000 because they decided to wait. The last objection I have is the one that we don't want to hear. I think this one probably causes the most call reluctance for us, to be honest, on our side and probably the real estate side, is that you call someone you worked with in the past, or you were trying to get them to get off the fence, and they tell you they already bought or sold with somebody else. So this is something that we have 100% control over, the results of this, and obviously it is really just staying in front of our clients and following up. And I think that's really huge right now. If you talk to a lot of top producers, that's probably the number one thing that they really have dialed in is their systems of follow-up with their clients. And I think that it's also probably the biggest struggle for us all is we don't always necessarily prioritize that follow-up like we should. So these are going to be very obvious. The first thing we need to do is make sure that we have a good follow-up strategy. For us in lending, we usually pick a day of the week and a group of clients and past clients that we call and follow up with them and make sure that if they need anything, that we are in front of them and here to help. And that goes with having a good CRM system, even a spreadsheet that you can look at and you can, you know, as long as it's something that you can understand what you need to do as far as following up tasks go for your clients. So that is huge to make sure that you have that follow-up strategy. We are in a little bit of a slower time. It's a great time to dial in your database and make sure that you have all of the information you need to regularly follow up and stay in front of your clients. The second thing is to use the current market data tools. I showed you that Redfin tool. The other couple of graphs I showed you were from our MBS Highway, which is our economic expert website that we use to make sure that we are looking at the current market on a daily basis. The biggest one that I've seen work as far as client interaction and touches is HomeBot. And that one's really great. We have a great open rate on those and really important right now because that tells people what their value is estimated at for them. And then a few other data points to help them if they want to make a move. And then the last thing is, who do they know that needs help? This goes along with that follow-up. So if you're talking to your clients, maybe they did say that they already bought or sold with somebody else. And you can congratulate them and let them know that you are happy to help with them. I would still say in front of those people as well, because if they do need help in the future, you want to be the name that shows up when they are looking and thinking of making that next move. And then they also know other people that can be referred to you. And for us, that's huge. When we have someone that we ask if they have any other friends, family, coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance, they can send them our way. And if they're looking to buy or sell, we can get those back to you. And it's a warm handoff, and you're already known and trusted because they were referred by a close person in their life. So all in all, really all of this is addressing the psychology of a buyer or a seller situation. We really have to focus on our relationships now and make those connections very quality. I don't see that we're going to see this crazy flood of business come in where we weren't even able to handle it before. and we're gonna be in a more organic and normal market, I think, hopefully moving forward. But now that we have less clientele than ever before, it's really important to build those relationships and make sure we're networking with their people to get as many referrals as we can. So clients know what they can do, but oftentimes they don't know what they should do, and that makes us their experts to help educate and inform them. And so for us as lenders, it's not just our job to pre-approve and close a loan. It's our job to make sure that they understand what they are getting themselves into with education, and that they're confident and motivated in moving forward to buy and sell real estate. So that's all I have. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys. I hope this information is helpful, and I would love to have any feedback you have for me.
Awesome, Brandy. Thank you. That was great. That was a really great presentation. And I do think that it highlighted some of the things that we are all dealing with on an everyday basis. So if you want to watch this video again, let us know. If you have questions for Brandy, you guys saw her contact information up there. Brandy, while I wrap up, can you also put your contact information in our chat in case anybody wants to just get, copy and paste it and reach out to you? If you guys have any questions too, use the chat and we'll work it in. I'm going to go over the end of our presentation today, which is classes, and more classes. Yay! Tomorrow, we've got a CE class coming up. This is Mortgage Finance Knowledge for Agents. 3 hours general CE credit in person at the Holiday Inn in Glendale from 9 until noon tomorrow. So if you guys want to attend that, please reach out to Patty and Michael, and they can get you registered for this. Yes, I can get you guys a copy of the presentation. Everybody that was on today, I can send you guys the presentation, and I will send you the link to the YouTube upload of this video. You can also find it by going to our Landmark Title Assurance Agency YouTube page under the playlist Marketing Matters. But because we got specific requests, because this was a specifically good presentation today, I'll reach out to everybody that did attend, and I'll send you both, if that's okay with you, Brandy.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then let's see, coming up in September. So yes, guys, we are already there, September. We've got another CE class. This one is about renovation loans. So if you guys are interested in attending this one, I believe it is the 13th over in Goodyear from 9 until noon. Renee is hosting this. Please reach out to her if you would like to attend that class. And then the following day, the whole Landmark Title crew will be at the 21st annual We Serve Expo. This is going to be over in Glendale at the Renaissance Hotel, which is right next to the football arena over there. So head over to Westgate. That is from 9 until 1 p.m. This is a fun event. You get to see people that you know from all over the industry. We're going to be doing a Wheel of Fortune theme. We're going to have some giveaways. So come out and see us at booth 82 on the 14th of September. And then on the 21st, up in our Prescott area, we've got Whiskey Road Tours. This one starts at 3 p.m. So head on over to that. If you want to RSVP, you can always reach out to our Prescott rep, Michelle. And then towards the end of next month, we've got the Biltmore Luxury Tour. This is every fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. They meet at the Camelback Lakes Corporate Center, and then they head out. This is a great tour, and as always, it is free. And then Looking all the way forward to October, guys. Yes, October 26th will be here before we know it. And you will have the opportunity to once again attend Here Comes the Judge up in the Prescott area. That is October 26th, 1 to 2 p.m. at the Willow Creek Inn. Let Michelle know if you're going to attend that one as well. And that's it for us today, guys. Thank you so much, Brandy, for coming on. You've got some amazing presentations. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the last couple of times.
Yeah.
I know you've got a ton more great content, so look forward to the future. We are definitely going to have Brandy back on. Like I said, she's got just amazing content. She has a wealth of knowledge. If you have any questions for her too, please reach out. And then, of course, thank you to our business development management team, Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Michael, Michelle, Patty, Renee, and Keith. You all are fantastic. If you guys need any help with your marketing, please reach out to them. That's exactly what they love doing and what they're here for. And then, of course, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters every single Wednesday. We have 7 offices across the valley, 1 up in Prescott, 2 up in Nevada, for all of your escrow and title needs. So please think of us on your next contract as you are overcoming all of those objections and getting cleared to close. We would love the opportunity to work with you. So that's it for us today, guys. We'll see you next week.